Bee season has commenced.
So we are going to rear our own queens and make some more colonies, but we have to make a cell builder first, and by doing that we have to make them queenless. So I have to take their queen away and not kill her, and then they're going to get really ticked, and I'm going to kind of do a modified 10/10 technique that Mike Palmer does and a lot of other people, and we're going to overload a hive with a whole bunch of bees and no eggs, no brood. Just, well, there's gonna have brood, but it's all gonna hatch out. It's gonna be nothing but bees, ready to swarm, ready to go. And then we're gonna give them some cells to make. So we'll see what happens. But first, we gotta make them mad. Well, good morning, everybody. Yesterday it got really windy and we were talking about some bee stuff I was doing, so I'm going to walk around and just kind of show you what I'm doing. Small apiary. I'm trying to expand it. This is going to be part of our little farming adventure. So, hope you can see me. Anyways, I'm going to go over kind of what I did. Kind of the reason why I did it, kind of what I'm following. It is not perfect. I have a small apiary. I don't have a ton of bees. I don't want to deplete all my resources, but I gotta get started somehow. So I'm going to attempt to make the best queens I can in less than ideal conditions. But I think we can make it happen. I'm gonna tell you how. So here we go. I'm not gonna get too close because this one hive was a little angry at me. So this hive right here, it's got the blue stripes on the bottom and everything. That's going to be my cell builder, and what I have is it's absolutely 100% hopelessly queenless. It is not as full as I'd like to see, but it's gonna do fine. I hope. We're gonna give it a shot. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna graft as many queens as I can out of that mint color hive and out of the brown hive, just the wood one over there. And the reason being, the mint hive overwintered really well and she's got a really good population, and I wasn't too impressed with this hive over here, the wood hive, but it's rocking and rolling really well, and so I kind of wanted to keep it going because those two hives and that dark blue one I'm going to actually break down and I'm going to make nucleus colonies from. So everything's going to get broken down into really small nukes this year. So I wanted to let them build up as much as possible. This hive, the cell builder over here, was set up, it was 2 deeps and that super, and that's what I give them. My goal is to have 2 deeps and a super on my, what I'd call production hives. So, reasoning behind all this. So in the attempt to expand, I'm getting buzzed by somebody who doesn't like me. In the attempt to expand, I want to rear my own queens, and I really like the queens that I have. The one Carniolan, and the other one is I call it a mutt bee. It came from a Italian daughter that did really well, has some good qualities that I like, and so I was able to produce a queen last year, and that's what ended up being in that wood hive. So that's what I'm going to do. So now that's I'm not being buzzed anymore. Let me tell you about how it's going here. So the blue and white striped, it was actually a honey super. It was full of honey last year. I left it with them, and they've depleted it down. But there's still five or six frames of honey still in there that I could extract, but that's theirs. I'm leaving them to have it. Well, what I'm doing is I want to simulate a really strong nectar flow, which I don't have a really good one right now, but I want to simulate one. So I put the honey on the bottom, because bees don't want honey on the bottom. They want to put it up. And then I took the deep, which used to be a really strong brood chamber, and there's no more brood in it. Like there's a few eggs, but not that many. I went through, I smashed every single queen cell I could find. There's like 3 dozen of them. I don't know. Anyways, so then I put that one on top, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some sugar syrup in there with a pollen frame right next to my grafting frame, and then hopefully we can get some good queens out of that. So what did I do with the queens? The queen that was in there, she's actually over here. This is her 3rd season, so she's not as good as what I was hoping to see, but she's okay. But I didn't want to pinch her yet. She didn't deserve that. So we're gonna let her go over here for a while and build up a little nuc. So what I have over here is, it's a 2 4-frame nucs underneath a 10-frame setup. So, and the only reason I can remember this right now, I haven't labeled it. This side entrance, you don't see a whole lot coming out. They're a bunch of young bees. It is a Saskatraz queen that got superseded last year. I'm not impressed with her. She's just really small and doesn't lay so well, so she might get changed. I just got stung. Oh, those darn things. So, and then this side is the queen that came out of that cell builder. So it used to be very, very tall. It's not so tall anymore. Sorry about the sun. So anyways, that's what we're gonna do. I'm getting the sugar syrup ready. It's got to cool down. The pollen frame is all set up. And so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go into those 2 hives, and I'm gonna pull out 2 frames that got some larvae. I'm looking for some larvae between 12 and 24 hours old. They're gonna be straight with a little like dimplies on them. They're kind of hard to see. All the way to what looks like a comma. Anything beyond the comma shape, I'm not gonna use. So I'm gonna kind of look for whichever one's the biggest ones I can get, and we'll go from there. It's kind of my first time doing it, so give it a shot. What happens? See what happens. So, all right. One thing I do want to add, this method I'm using, it's called the 10/10. I did not do 10/10 exactly how it's supposed to be done, because I don't have the resources to do it. So how it's supposed to go is you go and you get 10 frames. Like you take that one hive, that one big, huge, massive hive, and you go to other hives, however many you want to, how you want to do it. But anyways, you get 10 frames of capped brood, and you put them in there. And in 3 to 7 days, all that should hatch. And so now you have just this massive amount of bees. So that's the 10/10 sort of thing. I'm probably not saying 100% correct, but the idea behind it is you do that, they lay, you can actually then swap out those frames again for another 10 frames of capped brood, and now you've got another 10 frames of brood that comes out. It's 100,000 something odd bees. I want to say it's like somewhere around 3,500 cells per side. I think there's 7,000 cells total per deep, and that's the small cell stuff, small right cell. Anyways, that's how you do it. I only put in 5 because that's really all I could spare, and then what was in there, and then I packed everything down to what you saw, that medium, super, and a deep. So there's actually quite a few bees in there. It's not perfect by far, but you know, people have done more with less, so we'll give it a shot. But I just wanted to explain that was the 10/10. So in an ideal world, you would have new colonies or other big colonies, and you steal brood from them. You put 10 frames in there, let them hatch, do it again. And what you're going for is all those nurse bees. That's what you want. And frankly, that thing's got a whole bunch of nurse bees, but it also has field bees coming back, bringing in what nectar and pollen, and that's the other thing I need to have help. So we're just gonna give it a shot and see what happens.